No! Do not see me!
Much like Morrissey's Blood for Dracula, Coppola's Dracula seeks to portray the Count as a sympathetic anti-hero, but unlike Blood for Dracula, it doesn't entirely succeed. Coppola's Dracula sticks pretty close to Bram Stoker's novel, with Dracula moving to London for fresh victims, and Dr. Abraham Van Helsing trying to destroy him, and while there is a lot to like here, I think that this adaptation is messy, and fundamentally mishandles both Dracula and the new romantic subplot. Coppola's Dracula revels in the Count's morbid, monstrous side, and devotes great tenderness to his courtship of Mina, but Dracula's inner torment at his own existence is given little development, and feels implausible. In Blood for Dracula, you feel sympathy for him partly because he's weak and pathetic, though such a statement on its own would be an oversimplification. Morrissey's film effectively turns Dracula into an anti-hero by giving him very relatable fears, emotions, and flaws. But in Coppola's film, while Dracula's longing for Mina is palpable, he is a very intelligent and dignified being, and the suicide of his wife leading him to renounce God provides an origin story for the Count. This Dracula is too powerful, creepy, primal, and above all malevolent for me to feel sympathy for him. This Dracula, like the film's plot, is quite close to the novel's version, to the extent that the romantic angle and the goodness in him feel incongruent. Don't get me wrong, the mercurial Gary Oldman delivers a fantastic performance, both charismatic and terrifying, as Dracula, but the character itself is poorly realized. The romance itself didn't click either, as it seemed insipid and had the effect of rendering Lucy's character superfluous. The circumstances of Dracula's lover Elisabeta's death are sad, and it is strangely touching to see Dracula and Mina grow close, with Mina gradually remembering her past life, and Mina's possessed devotion to Dracula later in the film is riveting, but I generally found it uninteresting and unavoidably trite when, again, placed alongside Dracula's beastly nature. It's not shallow or mawkish, far from it, it just didn't work for me due to an unfortunate out-of-place silliness about it, and it also falters on a narrative level when you consider Lucy's arc. Lucy, played ravishingly by Sadie Frost, is Mina's wealthy childhood BFF, and her vivacious, direct, and sexually enthusiastic demeanor provides a counterpoint to Mina's more demure, restrained personality, and also foreshadows Mina's decay under Dracula's curse. Dracula repeatedly feeds on Lucy, making her gravely ill, and when Lucy dies, she returns to life as a vampire preying upon London's children. This is, of course, true to the novel, but Dracula's obsession with corrupting Lucy and turning her into a vampire makes his love for Mina feel disingenuous. Some adaptations merge Mina and Lucy into one character, which I think might have worked better here. Mina becoming more seductive and bewitching as her vampirism takes hold is partly a retread of what happens to Lucy. Whether this is a flaw in the film or the source novel is up for debate. As their progression into vampirism is quite similar, combining Mina and Lucy might have been more economical and dispelled the slight feeling of repetition. Mina also didn't need to be in love with Dracula to be madly devoted to him, as the vampirism and Mina's psychic connection to Dracula would have achieved this anyway. I didn't like the portrayal of Dracula or how the romantic subplot disrupts and muddies the narrative, but Coppola's Dracula still shines with fun, bold artistry in every other aspect. The gothic yet lush aesthetic, which includes great costumes, atmospheric sets, and effects achieved entirely without CGI, is all extraordinary. Dracula's various designs are horrific and very creative. The action is visceral and exciting. The music is majestic. The performances are mostly excellent, with standouts being Richard E. Grant as the dedicated yet conflicted Dr. Seward, Winona Ryder as Mina, and Sir Anthony Hopkins, who is wonderfully crazy and bombastic as Dr. Van Helsing. Coppola's Dracula is exciting, fun, compelling, and visually staggering in so many ways, so it's sad that the central character is so mismanaged. I did like Coppola's Dracula, but not as much as Blood for Dracula. Even so, I cannot in good conscience give the former less than 3.5 stars out of 5. Thanks for watching. Cheers.